Okay children, let us continue with this cell structure. So you know that a cell is bounded by a membrane. We call it cell membrane. So this is the cell membrane, this is animal cell, and this is plant cell. And this cell membrane is also known as plasma membrane, and it is selectively permeable, means it has pores which will allow only solvent or selected materials to pass through it, not everything. Only certain things can come out and go inside of this cell. In case of plant cells, it is bounded by another extra covering. This one you can see, this is called cell wall. This you have read in junior classes that plant cells have cell wall made up of cellulose. Animal cells have only cell membrane. In addition, plant cells have cell wall. So generally when we discuss a cell, we will say that each cell has three parts: cell membrane, that is plasma membrane, nucleus, and cytoplasm. And cell organelles, we said that cell organelles are the tiny living bodies, or you can say these are the parts of the cells. Now they have compared the cell organelles with the organs. For example, inside your body there are various organ systems like digestive system for digestion of the food, circulatory system for the circulation of blood and respiratory gases, respiratory system for exchange of gases. Similarly, we can say compare cell organelles with our organ system. Same way, inside the cell, these organelles are responsible for performing particular functions. Like here they have written mitochondria. Mitochondria for respiration, where energy will be produced. Fine. Golgi apparatus for secretions of various enzymes, and similarly like cytoplasm, where all the reactions will take place, all the metabolic activities will take place. So cell organelles, the little organs, most part of the cells have definite shape, definite structure, and definite function. Such parts are called organelles. Means all organelles will have their own shape, their own structure, and they will perform a particular function. So first of all, they have described about cell membrane and cell wall. Cell membrane, as I told you, is also known as plasma membrane, and it has fine pores through which substances may enter or leave. Cell membrane is composed of lipoproteins. Lipoproteins means it is made up of lipids, means fats, as well as proteins. And the permeability refers to you can say movability, which all substances will be allowed to enter. Allowed to enter, we call it permeability of the cell membrane is selective. So this is very important for you to remember. Selective, that means it will allow only certain substances which are required by the cell to pass through, while it prevents others. And plant cells have cell wall surrounding the cell membrane. The cell wall is made up of cellulose. Please underline. This also is asked, name the substance of which the cell wall is made up of. We will write cellulose, a non-living substance. And because of the cell wall, plant cells appear to be rigid and hard or tough, you can say. Cell wall is freely permeable, means cell wall will allow everything to pass through it, but then there is a membrane, we call it cell membrane, which will select whether the certain thing should be allowed to enter or not. So here they have written plant cell shows some portions of cell walls of 6 surrounding cells. There is thin middle layer which holds the adjacent cells together. Means you can see over here these parts. There is another layer, and actually these are the plasmodesmata you will study in higher classes, or these are the certain types of junctions which help these cells to form connection between other cells. Means from here the cell wall is not there, and here there is a continuity between the cytoplasm. Then cytoplasm. Cytoplasm is a semi-liquid substance, and it occupies most part of the cell within the cell. This usually we show by a dotted appearance, and we can say that what this cytoplasm is responsible for carrying out all the functions, means whichever metabolic activities will take place in this liquid. So chemical reactions, site for the chemical reactions, and living cytoplasm is always in a state of movement. and the cell organelles are embedded in the cytoplasm. Now these are the following cell organelles. First is endoplasmic reticulum. Endoplasmic reticulum. This one, endoplasmic reticulum, forms a network, extensive network throughout the cell. To understand, we will draw only little bit, like we have drawn here and here in case of plant cell, this much. But actually this endoplasmic reticulum is scattered all over the cell and it forms an extensive network, and basically it is for exchange of materials, means transporting materials from one place of the cell to other place, and it also provides a supporting framework. So here they have explained endoplasmic reticulum we write with ER, capital E, capital R. And the main thing is that it is very, very fine, means it cannot be seen under normal microscope. You can see only under electron microscope. An irregular network of double membranes. Double membranes means it made up of outer membrane, then an inner membrane. At its outer end, it is connected with cell membrane, and at the inner end to the nuclear membrane. So you can see from here, you have to connect from here, and inner side is connected to the nucleus. And sometimes it may be embedded with ribosomes. You can see this dotted appearance. These dots are basically the ribosomes which may be attached to it. Ribosomes we will just now study. This is another organelle which is responsible for the synthesis of proteins. So if it is studded with ribosomes, we call it rough because it gives a rough appearance. So we call it RER, rough endoplasmic reticulum. And it may be smooth also, means without ribosomes, then we will call it smooth endoplasmic reticulum. SER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum. They have shown here. See, you can compare the both. This is rough and this one is smooth. Then it forms supporting framework. So this is the function. Function is supporting framework, means it provides framework, support to the cell. And second function is it serves as a pathway for the distribution of the materials from one part of the cell to the other. Now the next cell organelle is ribosomes. So ribosomes is also known as protein factories because here these ribosomes are actually involved in the synthesis of many types of proteins, and this is a very complex process you will read in higher classes. And as I told about the structure, these ribosomes are without any membrane. They are without any covering, without any membrane. They may either lie free in cytoplasm, you can show by round dots, or they may be attached with endoplasmic reticulum. And basically they are called factories for the synthesis of proteins. The next cell organelle is mitochondria. Mitochondria, cells energy producers. So you have to learn by these names. Now you know that our body after digestion, after the food is digested by digestive system, it is then absorbed by the blood and blood carries it to the cells, and inside the cells the food is broken down to release energy. You all know this. Now where inside the cell? That particular place is mitochondria. So mitochondria are called cells energy producers. And if we see about the shape can be spherical, rod shape or thread-like. You can also study the cell organelles from this table. They have given in detail. Like this is, they have drawn mitochondria. This is endoplasmic reticulum. Mitochondria is also double membrane, means this is outer membrane and then inner membrane has many folds. You have to draw in this way only. Inner membrane has many folds towards the inner side, and these folds are called cristae. Folds are called cristae. On these folds there are many types of enzymes which are responsible for producing energy in the form of ATP. Okay. So mitochondria are the energy producers. They release the site where cell respiration occurs to release energy. That energy, you know, is in the form of chemical, and we call it ATP, adenosine triphosphate. So because of this reason, mitochondria are also known as powerhouses of the cells. So this is also very important. You have to underline powerhouse of the cell. Which cell organelle is called powerhouse of the cells? Mitochondria. Now the next cell organelle is Golgi apparatus, the delivery system of the cell. So Golgi apparatus occurs in the form of granules, filaments or rods. So if we see this diagram, so this is Golgi body. Golgi body present in both plant and animal cells. Main function is to secrete, like in, for example, I can give you one example, like you have studied in class 8 hormones, endocrine system you have studied in, and they release hormones. These are secreted. So in the same way, like secretion of hormones, secretion of enzymes, so whatever things are secreted means produced, that together we can say as secretions of the cell, that is secreted by the Golgi bodies. If we talk about the structure, so you can see from this table, Golgi bodies, the structure is something like this. It can be tubular or its endings are swollen, and then these swollen endings, they have stored something inside the secretions. These endings, they can detach and then they form some vesicles. We call them vesicles. Vesicles for small round bodies, vesicles, and vacuoles for large spherical bodies. If they are large, we call vacuoles, and very small round tubules bodies are called vesicles, and they may be in the form of tubules also. So they are usually lying stacked one above the other. So stacks of flattened membrane sacs. So then the next cell organelle is lysosomes. Lysosomes are called intracellular digestive centers. Intracellular means within the cell, digestive centers because they help in digestion. Digestion of what? Digestion can be of foreign substances, that is germs. They may also digest stored food during starvation. If the cell is not getting anything to eat, lacking means starving due to energy, less energy, then they may digest their own lysosomes. And for this reason, they are also known as suicidal bags. And many damaged cells are rapidly destroyed. The damaged cells, the damaged part inside the cells, they are dissolved by the enzymes present in the lysosomes. So for that reason, they are also known as suicidal bags. So this also you need to know. Like mitochondria, powerhouse of the cells, proteins, factories, ribosomes, suicidal bags, lysosomes, or intracellular digestive centers. So these are the organelles which are present in both plant cells and animal cells. Now we will discuss nucleus, which is also present in both afterwards. Now some particular cell organelles. The particular cell organelle, one is centrosome and centrioles. This is present only in animal cell, and it is a clear area of cytoplasm close to nucleus. Means near the nucleus it is present, and the name of the organelle is centrosome. Centrosome is further made up of one or two centrioles, and its main function is during cell division. During cell division, there are two types of cell division, mitosis and meiosis. This you will study in detail in higher classes. In 10th class, you will study mitosis, a type of cell division. But you have to remember that centrosomes are present only in animal cells. There are no centrosomes and centrioles in plant cells. Okay, and their function is cell division. Now the last cell organelle is plastids. Plastids are found only in plant cells. You know that plants perform photosynthesis. Only plants, green plants. So because they have various types of plastids. So they shape, again they will be double membrane, means outer membrane and inner membrane. So they can be oval, spherical or disc shape, and depending upon the colors, means depending upon the pigments they have, they can be of three types: leucoplast, chromoplast and chloroplast. Leuco is for white, or we in biology we call it colorless. For example, potato. Potato has lot of leucoplast. So leucoplast is for colorless, they have no pigment. Chromoplast is for colors, various colors. These are variously colored plastids, like yellow, orange, red. You might have observed yellow colored leaves, red colored leaves. All these are mostly present in the petals, because petals are variously colored, or fruits, or some other parts also. But don't think that all the coloring pigments is due to chromoplast only. Sometimes there are some other colors which may be dissolved in the cell sap, in the cytoplasm. Means in case of plants, there can be coloring pigments present in the cell sap, dissolved in the cell sap. They also give colors to the plants, and these colored pigments are called anthocyanins. Anthocyanins. And for chromoplast, particularly for yellow color, we use the term xanthophyll. For orange red color, we use the term carotene. Yellow pigment xanthophyll, orange or red colored pigment carotene. And for green color, we call it chloroplast. You all must have read about chloroplast, which contains green pigment. We call it chlorophyll. And it is mostly present in green parts, that is leaves. And this is the pigment which is responsible for photosynthesis. So you can revise till here. In the next part, we will complete the next topic. Thank you.